Thank you. So I am Toastmaster Deepthi and the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. And I welcome you all to the 71st meeting of the Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. So before we officially start the meeting, I want you all to note that we are recording this meeting primarily for one purpose, which is that each of us should go back to the meeting recording and so that we can study and do a self reflection. Whenever we do self study and reflection, we tend to get better, we tend to notice our own flaws. Now, in order to have a smooth meeting, I would like to share some ground rules. Rule number one, I would request everybody to put their phones or any other gadgets that are around them on mute. Rule number two, please put yourselves on mute so that we do not disturb the speakers while they are speaking. And rule number three, when we speak, let's avoid speaking about topics which are related to gender, sex, politics, which might disturb the other audience in this virtual room. Thank you. And with that, I would like to recite the Toastmasters mission statement, which is almost like an anthem for each one of us. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. With this, let's keep our fingers crossed, eyes on the cameras, ears all open, and have a great meeting. Let's join our hands together to welcome our officiating club president, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Camp, for such a warm welcome. Greetings to each and everyone present here. I welcome you all to the 71st meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. And seeing this made me realize that we are soon to hit our 75th as well. I still remember the time when I started my journey with Toastmasters. It was in 2021 June. Well, I remember the time I was very much hesitant to take up any role and was reluctant to take part in table topics as well, unless pushed by someone. But yesterday, I saw a change in myself. Well, I had my presentation in college with over 60 students sitting in the lecture hall and 120 eyes scanning me. Well, what could have been my initial reaction had I not joined the Toastmasters? Well, certainly it would be I cannot do this. But this time, I was firm and confident, and I don't know how I was calm too. And when I succeeded by getting a 10 on 10 in the presentation, well, I am blessed to be a part of this Toastmasters. Well, now I can proudly say that I have finally overcome the fear of at least standing with confidence among a group of people. But still, I think I have a long way to go. And the credit goes to the Toastmasters Club of Storytellers, and to all the like-minded people across here. This is my story. What is yours? And if you still don't have a story, I would like you all to come forward, join Toastmasters Club of Storytellers, and write your own story. So today, we are here to know that when a man is firm and determined, he can even break the mountains. With Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Renu. But before inviting her on the stage, let's first have our introduction of our guest. So first, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Manav to tell us something about himself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. Hi, everyone. I'm Manav. I am a chartered accountant by profession. I qualified last year, and I had made myself a promise that once I clear, I will join this beautiful community. And that was a 4-year long promise, and I kept it. Once I qualified last year only, I joined the Toastmasters community, and I've been learning so much from here. And I'm here today because I've met Toastmaster Mehak, Toastmaster Renu, and I want to see what kind of magic goes on in these meetings. So that's what I'm here to witness. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manav. We are really happy to see you here as well. And we want to hear more from you today. Now we have Toastmaster Anjana.
Yeah, I am from Gurgaon Speakers Toastmaster, and I am an IT professional. And today we had area level contest, so I was busy in that. And then after that, our meeting, and most of our members are busy in participating in different area level contests. So I thought, why not join as a joint meeting with you people? So I got to know from the division director that one meeting is going on at the same time. And then Deepthi contacted me, and that is why I'm here. And I have already few more times I have attended your meeting, and I know TM Mahak, Deepthi, and some of people. So I am here to experience one more meeting, a very good meeting. Thank you very much.
Welcome and thank you for joining in today. Now we have Toastmaster Mayur. You are on mute.
So, hi, fellow Toastmasters. Recently, I joined Central Delhi Toastmasters Club, and I just want to improve all the communication skills and just want to know about all the Toastmasters clubs, how they are going, what is their functional roles and all. And today, I'm playing as a role of listener, active listener. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in Toastmaster Mayur. Now we have Toastmaster Rajendra.
Hi everyone. I'm from Gurgaon Toastmasters Club. I'm also playing the role of secretary over there. I joined Toastmasters International, I can say, 1 year before when I crossed 51 year of my age. I realized that communication is one of the most important thing which we keep on doing but don't understand really how important it is. And I started improving on my communication uh, styles, or maybe learning from all of the Toastmasters. And I saw some changes in me. And then today I'm again going to share my communication style in my one of the speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in Toastmaster Rajendra. We are looking forward for your speech as well. Now we have Toastmaster Shalmali. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yes, you have pronounced my name correctly. And hello everyone. So last year only I graduated from college, and like ever since then I was looking for opportunities in which I can learn and grow, because college I used to be a part of a lot of clubs and all stuff like that. So after that, when I started after starting my corporate journey in the month of May, I decided to go for some club, and so hence by researching I found out about Toastmasters, and I joined Kolkata Toastmasters Club in the month of September. And ever since then, I've being the part of all these meetings and growing, learning, and enjoying a lot. And today I have taken the role of the evaluator for the first time. So yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shalmali, and all the best for your role.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we have Toastmaster Vedant.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahek Kapoor. Thank you, Toastmaster Mahek Kapoor. Hello, everyone. Myself Vedant Pradhan, and I am from Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. I had joined Toastmaster in the last year in the month of October to improve upon my communication skills. I am a chemical engineer by profession. I have done my chemical engineering from NIT Raipur. I am a 2021 pass out, and I'm also a member of TISA, the Indian Stamming Association. And through that, I got the motivation by some of my seniors that you should join the Toastmasters because it really helps you in having that professional communication skills which are required in the day-to-day corporate life and all. And currently, I'm preparing for the MBAs, and I'll be joining a B school this year. And that's all from my side. And I really like the theme of today's meeting, where there's a will, there's a way. So looking forward to a great meeting here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vedant. Now we have Toastmaster Shaurya.
Hello everyone. What am I supposed to speak about?
You
Am
can
I supposed to introduce myself?
Yes, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am a Toastmaster from Kolkata Toastmasters Club. I have been a part of this community since 2014. And somehow this place represents to me a place where I can get encouraged a lot, which is not the case for my actual life. So I make it a point to stick it around here, even after 8 years. And that's it. And there's the opportunity for me as well here in Art Science. So I look forward to have a learning experience in the next 2 hours, I think. Thank you, and what to you?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaurya. Now we have Toastmaster Amit. Toastmaster Amit. Okay, I guess he's facing some network issues. So now, without wasting any time, let's welcome Toastmaster Renu Mittal, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Renu Mittal. The stage is yours. You are on mute.
Am I audible now? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak, for starting the meeting with such a good and positive note. So now let's start the theme of the meeting. है कौन विघ्न ऐसा जग में टिक सके वीर नर के मग में खम ठोक ढेलता है जब नर पर्वत के जाते पांव उखड़ मानव जब जोर लगाता है पत्थर पानी बन जाता है. Very fascinating lines by one of the most renowned Hindi poet Ramdhari Dinkar Tripathi, which fit very aptly in the non-fiction tale I'm going to tell you all today. And it is of an incredible man of India whose unwavering spirits made the entire world stand gaped mouth and do nothing but salute. But before the story starts, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of the above lines of the poet Tripathi? Anybody?
Where there is a will, there is a way.
Yes, absolutely.
Jahan cha wahan ra.
Wow, wonderful. Hindi going. Yes. So this is absolutely fantastic. If a man becomes go-getter, means when he is firm determined, even mountains break and flow like water. So friends, who this man is, about whom I'm talking, what is the story behind it, this story I'll tell you, but who the man is, you have to guess it. And I'm sure all of you will pass with distinction marks. But before that, what I would do, I first of all will greet you a very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and our dear esteemed guests. Before I start the story, I'd first like to explain the format of the meeting, which makes our guests to understand it better. So this meeting is in 3 sessions. The first is the prepared speeches session. Second will be the table topic session. And third will be the evaluation session, which is headed by the general evaluator of the meeting. So first, again, before starting the story, let me first call the general evaluator of the meeting today, Toastmaster Mehak. She'll come on the stage and she'll explain her role, what she is going to do in the evaluation session. So Toastmaster Mehak, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. As a general evaluator, my role includes, just a second. As a general evaluator, my role is to lift you up together because I will be providing evaluations and constructive feedback about all the things that have been said and going on in the meeting. One of the main reasons we have the evaluation portion in a meeting is to lift other members so that they come back and speak again. The function of a general evaluator is to provide constructive feedback for the meeting It's like holding up a mirror to reflect yourself and what you have done to reflect your performance. Because feedback is a very essential process and it's a very essential learning process meant to encourage and drive the excellence towards the self improvement. And for this reason, I have my tag team with me, starting with the timer for the meeting. For that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Deepthi for explaining her role as a timekeeper.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. Tick tock, tick tock. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm the timer for today. And today, as a timer, I basically note the time for 3 important sections of the meeting. I'll share my screen and let you know how I do what I do. Allow me a second. Here's the screen. I'm sure it's loaded for everybody now. So this is the screen that I'm going to use today. I'm going to first time the prepared speeches. All of them are between 5 to 7 minutes. Once I start the timer, this timer will keep ticking. It'll be on the shared screen. A green light will be showed at 5 minutes. A yellow light will be showed at 6 minutes. And red light will be showed at 7 minutes. You see a disqualification window after 30 seconds. So at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, the red light will start blinking. That's an indicator that we need to definitely stop. Next, I'll be evaluating the table topic speakers. Table topics are usually between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the green light will be shown. At 1.5 minutes, yellow. And at 2 minutes, there'll be the red light. And then for the evaluation section, which is 2 to 3 minutes, what we'll have is the green light at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red light at 3 minutes. I'm going to share the screen throughout so you can see and keep a track of your time. But I'll share a report of the total time taken by each of you in these 3 roles towards the end of the meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepthi, for explaining your role so well. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Vedant to counter R's and M's.
Okay, so our topic today is where there is a will, there is a way. I think first of all we talk about the topics, and here I will say this, that how does will gets you success. I think when you hit the tough situations of your life, you get the will to rise from it, and that willpower gets reflected in your changed routines, in your changed habits that you do every day. And I think the success or failure is nothing but what we do in our daily routine. So that willpower is required to enact that everyday change in your life. So on that note, if you want to become a good speaker and a good orator, you must avoid using the filler words and filler sounds. Filler words such as like, you know, and filler sounds like or and the short and long pauses in your speeches can make you look dull. So try to avoid using these filler words and filler sounds in your speech. And I will be noting down the use of these words throughout the course of the meeting, and I will be presenting my final report in the evaluation segment. Back to general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vedant, for explaining your role so well. Next, I would like to present myself as the grammarian for the day. And as a grammarian, my role includes to note down the good usages and the not so good usage of the words and the language used by different speakers and the role players. In addition to this, I shall also keep a track of the number of times the word of the day has been used by speakers and the role players. So here I'm presenting my screen for the word of the day. The word of the day is stubborn, which means having or showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good arguments or reasons to do so. Some of the synonyms of the word stubborn include adamant, resolute, dogged, iron-willed, or uncompromising. And the sentences that could be made from the same are: he knew his stubborn will and straightforward hasty temper. He concentrated on encouraging the stubborn horse to head back the way they came. Keep using the word of the day. I will share my report in the general evaluation session only. Thank you so much. Now, I would like, there's an additional role. We have an active listener, and for that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Listening is key to all communication and one of very important leadership skill. A communication is incomplete without listener. A quick to everyone. Do you want to work under a leader who don't listen to you? No, right? Or anyone wants to go to a doctor who don't have time to listen your problem and prescribe your medicine? Not really right. You have to be good listener first. By becoming a good listener, you can improve your knowledge, you can improve your productivity, and you can influence others, and we can also avoid conflicts and misunderstanding. My role as an active listener today is to carefully listen to all the speakers and frame some questions around the context of the speeches and ask questions to members and guests to test their listening skills. I will encourage you to actively listen all the speakers, and you will definitely take away some new learnings today. Thank you. Back to Team Out.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayur. So this was my team, and we are constantly keeping all eyes and ears on you all and everything which is going on in the meeting. So meet you all during the general evaluation session. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak, for explaining your role so well. I'm sure everything is very, very clear to every participant and all the members and the guests. So now coming back to the story, the man I was talking about. This man was born in 1934 in a very poor, illiterate laborer's family in a very remote Gehlor village near Gaya in Bihar. Friends, will you believe how tough was the life of the villagers there? Actually, you will trust me, you will not be able to believe even. These poor villagers had to ply through a narrow and treacherous pass to cross a huge mountain for their daily needs and for the transport connectivity as well, because there was no regular road in the village. They were used to it. When came of age, this man marries a girl, Falguni, with whom he was head over heels in love since his childhood. Now everything was just going for them. Everything totally, absolutely, meticulously planned by the Almighty for them. But you know, for how long? Soon there arrived the witching hour of their life. One day, Falguni, who was pregnant, was taking lunch for her husband, for which she needed to climb a peak in the scorching heat. Just imagine the height of upheavals they had to face. Unfortunately, her foot got slipped and she fell down to the ground. When her husband heard that ominous news, he ran and took over her blood-splattered wife to the nearest hospital that was 70 kilometers away. There was no hospital in the nearby vicinity, where the doctors declared her brought dead after giving birth to a baby girl. The heartbroken man who loved his wife more than anything, cursed the mound and vowed to bring it down. And you know, how did he start his process? He bought a hammer and a chisel after selling his only possession, 2 goats. I told you, these people were extremely poor, and embarked on an almost impossible mission to carve out a path through mountains so that no other dies in the want of medical treatment like his wife. What happened with the man and his project? Keep with me, stay here with me. We will keep on discussing after the prepared speeches session. So let's start the first prepared speeches session. The first speaker is the Toastmaster Arjun. And to evaluate Toastmaster Arjun's speech, we have a very experienced Toastmaster, Uma Shankar. So Toastmaster Uma Shankar, I request you to kindly read out the objectives of the Toastmaster Arjun's speech. So stage is all back to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster. So let's understand. Today, our Toastmaster Arjun Rao, he is going to deliver a project which is from a Path 1 Visionary Communication, Level 2 and Project 1. The project is about understanding your communication style. This project is basically divided into 2 parts. The first part says to learn about different communication styles and identify his own primary style of communication. The second aspect is to share the impact of his communication style, which was on others. So today he has prepared a speech, and I'm sure that he is going to surprise us with the quality content which he always brings. And similarly, the title is quite interesting. The speech title is Sarcasm and Storytelling, The Fox Who Was a Sage. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, and I wish him all the best. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Renu Mittal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uma Shankar. Now I would like to invite Toastmaster Arjun to start the speech.
Thank you. Recently, I had an opportunity to listen to the Congress MP Shashi Tharoor. I had visited Jaipur Literature Festival, and on a whim, I just decided to attend his talk, see what the big deal was all about. I always thought he was a little bit overrated, and that people were in India, people were just impressed because he can use big words. And in India, anybody who wears a suit or tie or who can speak English properly, we still have this colonial hangover, maybe, or it is some kind of reaction to poverty over so many centuries or whatever. So I had all these feelings, and I just went with no expectations. And it was a big AC hall. And the topic of the speech was the essential Shashi Tharoor. And I just sat down. I thought my favorite activity actually to do actually is to be somewhere else so that I can be on my phone at peace. So I thought I'll go to the AC room and just browse my phone properly. But when he started and he just spoke, I thought I was above all these influences, but he did weave a kind of magic. There were at least 200 to 300 people in the auditorium, and for 1 full hour, the way the words just flowed out of his being, and how everything in the world and everything in life and everything that the questioner asked him, he just had it all figured out. Like everything was proper. Like, yes, whatever he was saying was right. Yes, this should not be happening. That should not be happening. Yes, that is false. This is false. And when I only realized this, when the speech got over, and I was like, what? I actually felt this breaking of a trance of some sort. Okay, what? Why did this happen? Yeah, whatever is going on should keep. ये चलते रहना चाहिए. This should keep going on. This should not stop. Please stop more. and it really did leave a big impression on me. And I tried to understand what is it about him or his style of speaking that is so appealing. And my analysis is that he doesn't really he's not really trying to relate to you. You know, he's above you. He's like coming from the gods. Okay, and he is just lowering himself to talk to you peasants. And after he's done talking to you, he'll again ascend to the heavens. And there is no hint of any kind of vulnerability. He's not trying to relate to you. His experiences are nothing of what your day-to-day experiences are. And in that way, he's kind of like another very famous speaker who's also like that, which I think of, and it is Sadhguru. Even Sadhguru is like, I feel most of his followers, they don't even do what he's asking them to do, because his main thing is he teaches yoga and some pranayama and breathing exercises. But the way his words flow, again, the same thing. And I call him the sage, and I call Shashikant the fox. But they both use the same kind of magic or whatever it is that I believe people are like, yes, yes, for 6 months they'll do the exercises or whatever is being taught. But after that, they're like, you know, the exercises and everything are okay. But you know what? You keep talking. When you talk, that is the best feeling that we have. Like, we just feeling listening to you all day. Who was बोलते रहे, हम तो सुनते रहते हैं. Keep talking, we'll keep listening. And it's like, I mean, it is so bizarre. It's like you log on to a YouTube channel for some fitness related or health related advice, and you don't do anything that they are saying, but you just want to listen to them. Even so many spiritual meditation teachers and everything, nobody wants to meditate actually. They just want to listen to these videos. There is something to be said for this kind of oratory, and I really find that it is in a democracy or in the modern world, such kind of oratory offers a very unfair advantage to masters of the art, because we do assign all kinds of noble and heroic qualities to people who are able to talk like this. We think there is no way he killed his wife. There is no way. I mean, look at how nicely he's talking. By the way, both Sadhguru and Shashi Tharoor have been accused of killing their wife. And in such a world, if you can, it's just a lesson to the art of oratory and the power of oratory. That if you can speak so beautifully, you can get away even with killing your wife. Yes, that's it. That's it for myself. Hello, is anybody there?
Toastmaster unmuted.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun, for such a wonder. There is some technical problem actually I'm facing. So off and on, I just disappear from the screen. Okay. So Toastmaster Arjun, applauds to you for such a wonderful story you had shared about the Shashi Tharoor, what you learned from him. Kudos to you for that. And now I would like to invite our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster R.K. Arora. And to evaluate his speech, I would like to invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Shalmali Ghosh. So, ma'am, please come on the stage and read out the objectives of R.K. Arora's speech. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So my target speaker, Toastmaster Rajender, is going to deliver his Project 2 Level 2 speech from the Pathways Dynamic Leadership. And the purpose of the speech can be divided into 2 points. The first point is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. And the second purpose of the speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. And the speech title is very interesting. It goes like, the manner is important than matter. So I want to wish all the best to my target speaker, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shalmali. And now I invite our second speaker, Rajendra Kumar, Toastmaster Rajendra Kumar, to please deliver your speech. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Reenu Mittal. Am I audible, I believe?
Yes, absolutely.
So how many of you think that the manner is important than matter? Knowledge, contents really makes a lot of difference. But if it is not communicated in the right manner, damage can happen. And sometimes it happened with me. In my first story, I remember in 2015, 7 years before, my son was studying in class 9th. I started review of studies of my son when I'm back from my office in the evening. I noticed that my son never asked any question from me, and whenever I check for about his study, I found that the conversation between us was not lasting for more than 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, I was like this. Why can't you solve these small problems? Why can't you remember the multiplication table of 17? You are keep on doing mistakes on subtraction, division, and even addition. I used to think that he would not be able to get a good college, as I was also not able to get admission in a good college even in second attempt. I found I was comparing my son with my nephew who was selected in IIT Mumbai and doing MSc at MIT, and always worried about my son education. The relation with my son was going through very tough patch. I found myself stubborn. I started working on me, and I found my communication was aggressive and direct. And because of my direct communication, I realized that my son was being afraid of me. He was afraid of me only, and used to be fearful when I used to review his studies. Once I realized my communication style is direct and authoritative, which is not appropriate. And then when I realized this, I called my son when I back after realization on the same day, and I just hugged him. Sonny, I was not loving you. I was loving your numbers. Whenever you get good marks, there is a good environment at home. And when you are not getting good marks, there's a chaos, there's a mess at my home. I am your father. And from now onwards, this number will not be there in between my love with you. Whether you get 0 marks or 100 marks, it doesn't matter for me. Please accept me as your father, and I will be always supporting to you. By changing my communication style to supportive, I remember in next year only, in 2016, my son won first prize in robotronics in Singapore in international robotronics competition with his team, and now he is in final year of the BTech in IT in a good college, and he has also got selected from the campus itself. So what I learned was manner is important than matter. In my second story, my wife bought a cassette of a movie, Kora Kagaj, and she inserted in the VCR, and she wanted me to watch that movie. After many reminders, I watched that movie. I have not understood the purpose of why my wife wanted me to see that movie. After some days, I met with one of my close friends, and he was sharing something about her sister and her husband relation. And when I was hearing the, mess in the relationship of his sister and her husband, I remember that the movie, that Kora Kagaj, which my wife wanted to make sure that I watched that movie. While listening to my close friend, I realized that after marriage, I should have very limited interference or interventions with the relationship of my sister and her husband and their family also. I realized that the intervention of my father, my elder brother, myself may weaken the relationship of my sister and her husband. And same thing has happened in that movie Kora Kagaj, that the Jaya Bhaduri gets married with a professor, and due to some over intervention of her mother in the relationship between her and her husband, the relationship got weaker and situation of divorce took place. And in one of the scenes, Jai Bahaduri is sitting in a school separately and her husband is working at separate where, and they're not living together. So movies or telling are the best manner to communicate the matter. It makes us understand in better ways. Here again, I realize that the manner is important than matter. Had I not realized my communication style on time with my son and my wife, and would have not adopted the appropriate communication style, I would have been singing the same song like Jai Bahaduri was singing there, being alone. Mera Jeevan. Please sing with me. Mera Jeevan कोरा कागज कोरा ही रह गया जो लिखा था आंसुओं के संग बह गया. So manner is important than matter. Thanks. Over to Toastmaster the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajendra, for such a wonderful speech. Your personal story, including the movie also, the song also, we all had relished it thoroughly. Too good. It was absolutely fantastic. So now I would like to call our third speaker on the stage, Toastmaster Deepti Sahani. But before that, I would like to call Toastmaster Vinod Sharma, who is the evaluator of the Deepti Sahani speech. So Mr. Vinod Sharma, please, the stage is yours. Please read out the objectives of Toastmaster Deepti's speech.
Toastmaster Renu, Toastmaster
Yes.
Manav will be evaluating my speech.
All right, all right. So Toastmaster Manav, the stage is all yours. Please read out the objectives of the Toastmaster Deepti Sahani speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Deepti is on her pathway motivational strategies. Today, she will be presenting her speech from Project 1, Level 2. And the title of her speech is It's All About Style. I wish best of luck to the speaker.
Yeah, Toastmaster Deepti, the stage is yours. We are eager to hear your story. It is all about the style only. So let's see what styles you're producing before us. All the best to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renu. Good afternoon, everyone. Raise your hand if any one of you is working in this virtual room. Very well. If you are a student, raise your other hand. And if you are homemakers, raise both your hands. Yes, so each one of us in this virtual room today has one thing in common. And that one thing is the fact that we are all from different backgrounds. Now, imagine that in our day-to-day life, aren't each one of us interacting with different people, peers, colleagues, bosses? teachers, or even house helps. Every time we interact with them, each of these people also have unique personalities. They have different mindsets, different opinions. And that is such a complex network of mannerisms. Well, no wonder that communication seems such a daunting task. But the good news is that communication might not feel so tough if we know the mannerisms or styles of each one of those people. So today, let me share the communication styles that the Toastmasters International suggests. There are 4 of them. I like to abbreviate them as DIAS, which literally means a raised platform. So today, let's start with the first style. D stands for direct. Now, people who are direct communicators are very decisive. They like to be in complete control. In fact, they are so focused and they are so goal oriented that it irritates them if they tend to lose that control. Let me explain with an example. I once had a senior leader, middle aged, well rounded, and not so tall, but she had a very peculiar British Urdu accent. So one Friday evening, she walks into the hallway and stands in the middle, hand on her waist, and says, "Listen up, you guys. This weekend is going to be working. We have a release coming up. No exceptions." Any questions? So to which my colleague raised her hand and said, "But Shireen, I have a 2-year-old daughter and daycares are closed on weekends." "Don't worry, my darling. Bring it on. I'll take care of these little beings in the cafeteria." Sure enough, all of us were working that weekend, and the cafeteria, that was bustling with fun. These are direct communicators. No beating around the bush. Do you want to know a tip to interact with such people? Well, be precise. Do not give them any details unless they ask for it. Keep it short and simple. Let's move on to the next. The I, or the initiating or initiative style. These beings are the social butterflies. They like fun, energy, enthu. They want to be the attention. And they speak so much that we tend to interpret that they hardly listen. It's not true though. Now, if ever you've seen a situation where there's an elephant in the room, okay, and which literally means that there is a problem that everyone acknowledges, but no one raises their hand to speak about it. You will see that one hand going up, and that one hand will be of the initiator guys. They are the ones who will speak up. By the way, want to know the tip for initiator kind of guy if you ever interact with them? Give them time before the start of a meeting or a conversation. Let them socialize. Let them break the ice. That is when they make the flowers bloom. Let's come to the third style, the analyzing ones or the analytical ones. True to the word, they are all about data, logic, reasons. This is what I want. And at Toastmasters, they make brilliant evaluators, point by point, even in a table topics evaluation. If ever you want to make a guess, you'll get to know soon. These are the ones who want, as a quick tip, these are the ones who want data presented in a very organized manner. And you have to be patient to give them time for processing, time with which they can actually think through what you've presented or what you've spoken with them. That's the point. With that, we come to the last communication style, which is indeed the supportive style. These guys are a relief. They're calm, gentle, steady, and they're excellent listeners. They are the ones who want no conflict, no tension. And if ever you see two people fighting, the one who makes truce or peace is the supportive style communicator. They are the ones who did it. So, the quick tip for speaking with such people is indeed that be calm and be steady as much as they are, and give them time to think about their decisions. That is how you interact with supporting styles. So, these were the four styles: D, decisive; I, initiating, or the social butterflies; A, analytical, thinking through; and S, supportive, the calm and steady ones. Now, time for the big reveal. What do you think is my communication style? Well, I did the Toastmasters assessment, and my primary style came out to be supportive, followed closely by the initiative style. Well, I was surprised because I expected it to be the reverse. But then I was set straight. My husband told me, I think a couple of years back you were more direct. So, well, people in this virtual room, when you sit back and think, I guess each of us changes, we evolve, and we fonder for being the best versions of ourselves. So when you think, sit and think today, acknowledge your style and be sure that you are kind no matter what. Be kind, don't mind. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Deepthi, thank you so much for telling us all the styles. And I really must say, actually, I must admit this, I loved the style, mainly the style of yours. And I would give you a free tip. Like, if you can try your hands in acting, I'm sure you will make us proud. You're too good in that. So kudos to you. A good round of applause for her. Wonderful. So now coming back to my story. So before that, are we voting for the best speakers first? Or should I continue with the story?
We are ready with the polls. I'll just launch them in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I launch it now. Co-host, please direct message me your votes. Guests can vote too. All right, I'm waiting for one more vote. And then I end. Okay, thank you. 3, 2, 1. Yes, I've received all votes. We're done with best speaker. Over to you, Renu ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Deepthi. So now coming back to my story only. I'm sure now you would have guessed about whom I'm talking. Anybody would like to say? Why you people? Yes, Deepthi, I'm hoping from you only.
Yeah, the mountain man, Dashrath Maji.
Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely. She has passed with the distinction marks. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Yes, friends, undoubtedly he is Dashrath Manchi, the incredible mountain man of India, who just by having faith in his own arms split open a mountain. 1982 was a red letter year. It was not not red letter day. It was red letter year when Dashrath at length carved out a 40 kilometers passage through the mountain, which shortened the distance of 55 kilometers in just 15 kilometers. Tell me, can we believe that it has actually happened? But then, isn't our country a land of hurt and hardihood? So friends, it is as true as this earth, the sun and the moon. Though late, it usually happens with the Indian government. But in 2011, our Indian government honored the road as Dashrath Manchi Path. And then there was no looking back. Many movies were made by the Bollywood and the Hollywood to pay him homage. The most recent one is, I'm sure you all must have seen that, Manchi, the Mountain Man by Nawazuddin Siddiqui. A tremendous acting. Everything is all right. But the question is, which really disturbed my peace of mind is, what did Manchi achieve after ruining his entire youth in breaking rocks and stones only? Why did his life stop at the death of his beloved? Friends, doesn't death blow happen with every one of us? But don't we move on, taking it as a facet of life? Of course, the show goes on because we cannot ignore the enormous circle of our problems. How can we be the escapists? But men like Manchi, aren't they entirely a different breed? But we are ordinary people. At least I am. Don't we crave for name and fame? If we donate a little bit or do some good karmas, don't we sing saga until and unless others get fed up and admit that they had already heard it enough from our mouth? Tell me honestly, do we feel any room for kindness, virtues, or selfless good deeds? Yes, we do, but sometimes only. But then a conviction is not that unwavering, not too stubborn to withstand storms that come on the way. And that's why the outcome is not as enduring as was Manchi's, because his willpower, his stubbornness, his iron will was stone solid. What does Dashrath Manchi's tale teach us? We will know after the TT session. So now let's have a small break, a funny session by TTM, Toastmaster of the day, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Manav. So Toastmaster Manav, the stage is all yours, and we are looking for a fabulous session of table topics. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. We all sometimes think about us wanting to do something new. Something new. What do you mean by something new? Is it possible that we're talking about building a new habit? But is it even possible to build a new habit? Because if I were to quote one of my favorite evil characters of all time, that is Cersei from Game of Thrones, her one quote is like, people rarely change, and if they do, they are not to be trusted. With that, I today want to find out in this club how our Toastmasters guests think about change. Is it possible or is it not possible? Today we're going to talk about habits. Today we're going to talk about change. The topics are going to be ridiculously simple, no-brainers. So do not get scared in coming forward. With that being said, I would now like to have my first volunteer. Is there anyone who would like to volunteer for this session? Okay, sir, Rajendra sir, you would like to volunteer for this. So are you here? If I were to begin giving you the topic.
I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Worst habit you could possibly have is feeling sorry for yourself. Worst habit you could possibly have is feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah. Again, the same habit of being authoritative and direct communicating the things without any extra words or maybe masala, you can say. So sometimes, when I play the role of maybe a boss or maybe leader in the organization, sometimes am so direct that people do not like that direct communication. And when they do not like that communication, they start building nexus. And I really want to get rid of it, because somehow, I have to be compassionate about people. And sometimes my task orientation takes me to the target objectives and everything. And whereas I leave my people behind. So if I really want to go long, I have to have people with me. If I want to go alone, maybe fast, then I may be okay. I'm maybe individual player, but I'm playing the role of a leader. So I should have been working. I've been working on this to look into my communication style, which is so direct.
Thank you.
Over to Mr. Manav.
Thank you, sir, for your take on this. Do we have a next volunteer? Yes, we have Pratyush who will volunteer. Pratyush, here you go.
Yes, thank you.
If you want to build it, make sure the foundation is strong. If you want to build it, make sure the foundation is strong.
That is the reason that many times we see buildings shattering down in many cities, even when there is no earthquake. Yes, when something natural happens, then it is obvious that things will shatter down. And it is obvious because a thing that is made, it is meant to be destroyed. A life that has started, it is meant to be end. But the main thing is we always think that we should end our life in a way that is prosperous. Thinking about the future instead of thinking about the present is the main problem. Human beings always think about the future because they have got a brain. And while thinking about the future, we miss our potential on our present. And that is where we lose the construction of the foundation. And when we reach the future, we find that we are not getting what we were looking for. Yes, human beings must think about their future because that is what we are taught from our early childhood. Son, daughter, please think about your future. What are you going to become after you grow up? And this thought makes them to think, just think, and they do not focus on their present. So elders and parents should also understand this, that just by telling it cannot happen. We should make someone to focus on his present so that he can make the foundation strong. And if the foundation is strong, the building will be automatically strong. Then no matter what will be the shape of the building, triangle, square, or circle. Over to you, Mr.
A brilliant take on this. You did not go take a shallow approach. You took a very broad approach as to why the problem occurs, and that is absolutely right, because we start thinking about the future rather than why we want to build it. Absolutely right. I really love what you had to say to this. With that being said, do we have a next volunteer? Arjun. Great. Arjun. Winning is not an event, but a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. Winning is not an event, but a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing.
Yes, it is a very common observation that people are either winners or losers. And all of this sorting really happens in childhood. Like I think boys, like they're like biologically hardwired to figure out where we stand, and that is why we're constantly beating each other up when we're little. At least we used to. I don't know how it is in now in modern schools, but I think that is like part of our primeval urge to figure out where we are in the lineup. And really, that is why it is such a winning. The problem, and that is also the reason why poverty is such a curse actually, because I read this book called Behavior by Robert Sapolsky, and it says that people who are born to poor mothers, they are just born with a different set of hormones and chemicals which reflects their lower socioeconomic status, and it just alters their behavior in many ways also. For example, they will not, if they get a bunch of money, they will never invest it. They'll always buy a new TV, and they'll be always prone towards short-term gratification and all these things. So you do get trapped in these habits, and once you get winning, you also get trapped in that. Now you have to keep winning, and you don't know when to stop. You don't want to stop. That has some good aspects. For example, if you are addicted to some harmless pursuits like riding a cycle or running or something like that. But what if you are addicted to gathering more and more power or gathering more and more money? Then maybe your unlimited ambition for self-improvement. Like even if you gave all the speeches in Toastmaster, if you in big DTM or something, nobody's gonna be like, leave something for us also. What you're going to do all the speaking in the world. But people do say that about Jeff Bezos or Mukesh Ambani or something like that. You want all the money. But it's really the same impulse because they found their game that they're good at and they want to keep winning. Oh yeah, that's it.
I believe the entire wisdom lies here at the Storytellers Club. Another wonderful take and beautiful example that yes, poor people generally tend to remain poor. It's because of their mindset doesn't grow. It's a habit that they form. Poverty is a habit that they have formed. Absolutely. The next topic is going to be very interesting and very close to me. Do we have another volunteer? I would like a guest. We had a guest. I forgot.
Divyansh is a guest.
Divyansh, would you like to go?
Yes, thank you.
When is it too late to start something new? When is it too late to start something new?
Well, at first, good afternoon to everyone. This is my first time like joining anything like of such and people. So sorry if I'm being too anxious and well, we as human beings, not as human beings, but like the human beings of modern civilization and the modern period, I think we tend to think about stuff and our ideas and the things that we want to do more rather than taking the action. And because of that, the things that we want to do may not happen in the time period that we want them to happen in. And that can change the result, what you were desiring. Also, I think what I feel is that I've been through this, and I tend to think about things a lot. As you can say, a procrastinator. So what I want to say to everyone, like whoever is gonna, I want to give this message to the people, is if you want to think of doing something, think about it just for 5 minutes and take the first step. When I wanted to join this seminar and this meeting, I was really scared. I was really scared because I've never done this. And for a long period, I've been an introvert. But now I think I want to change myself. And I would like to highlight the saying that I don't remember the name, but they said in the show Games of Thrones, they said people change and they shouldn't be trusted. Well, what I think is if they change for good, they should be given a chance. That's what I think. Thank you. I'm really sorry.
If they change for good, they should be given an eye opener. I will let Cersei know that Divya said this.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Toastmaster, do we have time for another, or should we wrap it up?
Um, I can take that. I think we can do one more topic, and if anybody else wants to volunteer, please go ahead. But otherwise, I'd request you, Manav, to give a simple topic to our Toastmaster Nena. Is she there? I don't see her in the meeting anymore.
No, in the beginning she was there.
Yeah, she's probably dropped off. So in case she joins, then Manav, it'll be really nice if you can give her a simple topic. But otherwise, anybody else, the floor is open. And one more topic. Does Toastmaster Shaurya?
Okay, Toastmaster Shaurya. So, Toastmaster Shaurya, tell us about that one habit you would define yourself with. The one habit you would define yourself with.
I like to read a lot. I like to read a lot. Am I audible? I should read. Oh, is this my topic? Okay, fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the topic. So I have been into reading books from the very beginning of my childhood, and I started off by reading fantasies in my mother tongue, and then as years went by, as I became older, I closely switched to reading fantasies in English, most prominently Harry Potter and the Twilight series. And then as more and more years rolled by, as I became an adult, I would switch off to reading detective fiction in both the languages. And there were days where I had read 3 books in a single day. There were times in my life where I have been a member of 3 libraries in a single time, my school library and 2 other community libraries. And there has been days where I have charged hefty fines for not returning the books on time. And then there has been a time in my life where, due to other addictions, I have somehow drifted apart from that habit, only to repent really hard. Why did I do that? And then I have bounced back. And since 2018, I have had a simple target of reading 12 books per year, because it was at that point of time when I was going to places in my professional career. So it was really hard for me to take time out to read. So since 2018, I have had a simple target to read 1 book per month and eventually 12 books per year. I managed it in 2018. I managed it in 2019. And last year, I was able to read 36 books per year. So I think I can safely say that from being a voracious student in my childhood to slowly drifting apart to again coming back, I have done it all. There has been days where I have read 3 books. There has been days where I have not read a single book in years, and then again I have bounced back. So I can proudly say that I am a voracious reader, and if I can continue the momentum in my given years, in the upcoming years in my life, I think that one day I would even be able to maybe publish a book of myself. And this is a life goal. Thank you, and over to you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Since I do not see our guest Nana in the meeting, I would like to conclude the table topic session. Wonderful listening to you all. A lot of wisdom I got today. Thank you, and I hand it back to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster, TTM of the day, Toastmaster Manav. Simple, still the superb. It is the table topic master. You have done what you have done. It was though simple, it was the superb table topic session. I really relished every bit of it. Thank you so much. All right, friends. So now we were again back to the story only. But before that, should we vote for the best table topic speaker? If the
Yes, ma'am, they're ready. I will just.
okay, please.
Yes. Can I just quickly confirm the order of the table topic speakers with the table topic master? Rajender, Pratyush, Arjun, Divyansh, and Shaurya. 5 speakers. Did we have 5 speakers or 6?
Sorry, I did not write down the name of the speakers.
No problem. So anybody, all table topic speakers, just ensure that I call out your names. Rajendra, Pratyush, Arjun, Divyansh, and Shaurya. Right. So
I think we had 5 speakers only.
Okay, great. So I'll launch the polls. Launching them in 3, 2, 1. They're there. And like I said before, co-host rights, please direct message me your vote. Okay, I've received the votes. I'm going to close the poll in 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepthi. Yeah, anything else, please?
No, thank you. Back to you.
Okay, dear. Okay. So, friends, I was talking about teachings from Dashrath Manji's tale. So the first is keep your steps small. Dashrath never got panicked by measuring the whole task at once. Instead, he took tiny steps and progressed while solving them one by one. Just think about it. Is there any point thinking much about the task that looks seemingly unconquerable? Can anybody complete that task in one step? Of course not. So why not break it into pieces and accomplish it gradually? The second is take life as it comes. Kehlor is a village still haunted by the ghost of extreme poverty. When there is a death in the village, these people, these villagers, they mourn the death of their beloved one even after crying for some time only, a few hours. And after that, they just burst out laughing, cracking silly jokes to ease out the tension. You know why? Because they cannot miss a day without working. How would they manage the bread of that day? So what they teach us, don't indulge in sorrows for long. It's a passing phase only. Even they do not scream for a day even. The third is have a sense of humor. When Dashrath looked at his gigantic enemy, the mountain on his first day, he had a hearty laugh. When somebody asked him, he replied, "What can one do when faced with a problem so huge? Why not have a sense of humor? At least it will ease out the threat a bit." The fourth is, don't lose heart if people call you crazy for your unique thoughts. When villagers saw Dashrath walking on the mount with his hammer and chisel, they thought he had lost his mind. They called him mad. But Dashrath was hell-bent on cutting it down. And when he accomplished, the same people appreciated him like anything. You know, we all salute the rising sun only. Friend, there are more teachings, but that will be after the general evaluation session. And for that, I would invite our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Mehak. So she will continue with the session. So over to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Now, towards the end, that is the evaluation session. This has been broken down in 3 different parts. The first part we will consider the evaluators, the speech evaluators. The second part, it will be introducing the tag team players and the active listener. And the third one will be the overall evaluation of the meeting. Well, so first I would like to start with the speech evaluation, and for that I would like to call upon Toastmaster Uma Shankar first, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Arjun. Toastmaster Uma Shankar, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for giving me the stage. So Toastmaster Arjun has delivered a project and which was very interesting perspective which he had shared with all of us today. Let's try to learn from his speech. The first thing is the opening. And he started by narrating a real life incident. Whenever any speaker starts with something from his own life, then we as an audience tend to put more trust on the speaker because the person is authentic. And when the characters are real life characters like Shashi Tharoor and all the stuff, the Jaipur Lit Fest, we know we can relate. We can also think on similar lines. So it's a good way of starting any speech. The second aspect which all of us can learn is his cool, calm composure, the screen presence which he has got. Although he has got the tendency, the eyes keep on hovering here and there. But apart from that, his facial expressions are like a zen. You can feel that how cool, calm he is as a speaker. He's not bothered about public speaking or people judging him during the speech. That's a great way of delivering a speech. Let's try to see that what are the things which he can do better. The the recommendation which I would like to really give is the screen setting. The speaker was sharing only his face and hands were not at all visible, like you can see right now as well. That says standard screen setting. There's a difference between public speaking and digital speakers' way of talking. In most of the news channels, you will see that their only face will be visible, like Dipti is sharing or Mehak is sharing. That's a digital speaker's way of attaching. And the way Rajendra Kumar was talking, that's the way public speakers talk. Typically, they stand or they at least use or make their hands visible. It's facial expression plus hands coordination as well, which is required. Second, I would say is about the eye contact. There's a camera here and the speaker should try to make contact with the camera, not eye, but as an audience, we feel like that there is an eye connect with us. Most of the time, the speaker is either looking up, left, right, but not at the camera. And we as an audience member feel like that he's not talking to us. He's talking to some sort of ghost there, or someone is there with whom he is having an interaction. The third, I'm sure that all of us have noticed, was the conclusion. It was quite abrupt. We were not anticipating as an audience member, and we felt like the speech is finished. Okay. Coming to good parts, the analytical approach which he had about the Shashi Tharoor and Sadhguru comparison, I have never thought about it. It was excellent. Summary, excellent opening, composed presence, analytical content. He can work upon hands-eye coordination and speech finish. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Uma Shankar. Now, next we have Toastmaster Shal Mali, and she would be evaluating Toastmaster Rajendra's speech. So, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. If people had the right skills and the intention to communicate well, there would be no conflict. The better we are communicating, the better our lives will be. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Rajendra. You really showed us that how our communication style can make all the difference. I would like to mention 3 good points and 2 recommendations of the speech that you have delivered. Firstly, personal storytelling. Your story was very engaging and of course very relatable. I really liked how you understood your direct, aggressive communication style and changed it to supportive in order to not keep singing the same song again and again. Also, while telling about your next story, you also showed us that it is also not necessary always to communicate through words. Sometimes exchanging DVDs or exchanging CDs can also help us to understand what is the problem and how it can be solved. The second thing I would like to mention is the voice modulation. I really liked how you started your speech with a question, and also it included dialogues with correct gestures. And also when you started singing of the song, you could also engage all the among the audience here to sing with you, because everyone was engaged at the same intensity the way you were delivering your speech. So all of us could actually get the feel of your situation. And the gestures, you use the right hand movements. And also I would like to mention that while delivering a speech, you are very relaxed and composed and maintain the correct eye contact. And throughout your speech, I also felt like you were quite a natural speaker, because the way you were delivering a speech, it was not only a speech, but it was some story, some personal incident that you were trying to tell us. So this was all about the good points. The 2 recommendations that I have for you was that since you were standing and delivering, so you could have used the stage in a broader way. Like while you were having those dialogues between you and your son, so you could have used it in a broader aspect. Second thing, there were certain inappropriate pauses in some areas that could you have been avoided. So apart from that, to summarize, use of engaging personal stories, use of correct voice modulation and gestures, and the things to work on is stage uses and the incorrect or inappropriate pauses. That's all. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shalmali. Now we will have Toastmaster Manav evaluating Toastmaster Deepti's speech.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. When I listened to Toastmaster Deepti's speech, the moment she started speaking, I was very clear that this is no ordinary person I'm listening to. For my recommendations, for my commendations at first, I'm not even going to go into the basics, which is that she had amazing voice modulations, the face expressions, and the moment she said it's all about style in the start, I truly impressed. The voice, the face expressions, the voice modulations, her hand gestures, everything was in perfect sync. So not even going to go into such ordinary details about her speech. I'll focus my commendations on 3 parts, and then I will give 2 recommendations to the speaker. First is the speaker in question. She did not just speak words, she painted pictures. The way she described her boss, curvy, and with the accent, the way she did that accent, the way she described the cafeteria, the office. I was in my office, in my chair, looking at my cafeteria. That was the power. I wasn't able to look at you. I was literally transported to my office. That was the power that your speech had on me. Second is the way you summarized. You brought a prop with you. The prop helped us keep track of where you're going, and the way you summarized it towards the end, right before beginning onto your onto your communication style. You summarized everything with the prop that put an impression in my mind, which I'm not going to forget. The third amazing thing was your speech was very easy to digest. I was at any point in time, I did not have to apply my brain. I was there. We were all there. We were listening. We did not, I personally, I did not have to put my brain into it as to what you're saying. Everything was coming naturally. So these were the three most amazing things that I felt in your speech, which were like uh, out of the world. Now going on to the recommendations. The structure of your speech. You started on with a minute and 30 seconds you took explaining as to why communication is important, and that was the time that's needed. You needed for maybe the office staff. You talk to different people during the day, and that's why you need it. It's perfect. But then you went on until 7 minutes to explain the different types of communication styles, that is direct, dias. At 7 you started about your own communication style, that you're more supportive, and then it's initiative. I i wanted to listen to that more. I was like, you ended, but I wanted to listen more. I wanted to hear about your communication style, how you created a difference, how your communication style has impacted others. Why are you more more supportive than initiative? But somewhere it's like 30 seconds. I was right to the finishing line. We are there, but just 30 seconds I felt I did not close that. So that was somewhere in the towards the end I felt. One thing, and this recommendation, the one recommendation that I'm about to give you, I do not give it to normal people. I do not give it normally, but this is for the most amazing speakers. What one thing I've noticed in them, I'm sorry, I'm running over time. The one thing that I've noticed in them, they do not they do not stand and give speeches. So what happens is your speeches had 4 or 5 parts. How would I deliver that speech? So I am here. Let's talk about direct. I'm moving here. When you move, audience know you're about to transition. When you move during different phases of your speech, it creates a very different impact. Because even if you're giving a speech in a physical setting, you would be required to move from one phase to another. While it's virtual, but if possible for you, do give it a try sometime, that you're moving through different phases of your speech. So at the end, I will just say that this is not a speaker, this is a printer who printed the entire speech, and I will remember it forever. Every word by word, it's printed in my brain right here. The most amazing speech I've ever heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manav, for such wonderful evaluation. Now we will start the evaluation of the role players. So starting with the timer first, I would request the timer to present the report.
Mehak, I'll need 1 minute to just put the report together. Can we do it after one of the other roles?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
So we will wait for the timer's report, but we can move ahead. So let's start with the counters report. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Vedant to provide with the counters report.
Thank you. Thank you, general evaluator. So today, so first we have Toastmaster Arjun. He took 2 short pauses and one filler sound was used one time. Toastmaster RK Arora was flawless in his speech. He just used one filler word, in between his speech. Toastmaster Dipti Sahane was flawless. Toastmaster Renu Mittal fumbled in between 2 times throughout her address to the audience. Toastmaster Pratyush used the filler sound 2 times. Toastmaster Manav was flawless. Guest Divyansh used the filler sound 3 times. And the Toastmaster Shaurya used the filler sound 2 times. So this was my whole final report, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vedant, for such constructive feedback and your report. Now I would request Toastmaster Deepti to present the timers report.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. So I will just share my screen. All right. That's the timer report that you can see. Prepared speeches, Toastmaster Arjun, 5 minutes, 41 seconds. Toastmaster Rajendra, 6 minutes, 42 seconds. And Deepti, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. The colors are just an indicator of the cards that were shown on the screen. They do not definitely mean that green means you are, it's correct, and red 7 minutes 30 seconds is not right. That is not what it means. It's exactly matching the screen cards. But nevertheless, the takeaway for all speakers here whose time is appears green is that try and utilize the stage time that you have, and in a digital world, the digital time or digital screen time that you have to the best of that is available to you, because we can only grow better by speaking and using our time to an optimum level. So in that view, Toastmaster Arjun, we would recommend that you use your speech time better. You have up to 7 minutes and 30 seconds. You can move up to 7 minutes. So you have around more than a minute and a half. Uh, Same way, Toastmaster Rajinder, this is an excellent score. This leaves room for any long pauses that happen during our speech unconsciously. So I personally, I appreciate this time, but still you have around 30 seconds more to cover. I should personally take care of the time. I actually cut short my speech at runtime because it was well beyond. So I need to take care on the other side of the timings. Same way, table topics. I would urge all of you to note your times. I think Divyansh, I would call you a qualification. One, because you're new and this is the first time that you've spoken and you're a guest. So otherwise, the upper limit that we have in table topics is 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Evaluators, yes, we have technically we do have one disqualification. We went overboard. The only suggestion here from a timer's perspective is that let's try and structure our runtime speeches also. When we are giving evaluations, it's best to give commendations until the green card. That becomes an color indicator in our mind. And I myself got it as a feedback from one of our fellow Toastmasters here. So just sharing it with you. So thank you. That is all I have from the timers section. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti, for sharing such insightful report. And I am sure that we will look forward to all the timings that you have shared. Now, I will present the grammarian's report myself. Toastmaster Rajendra and Toastmaster Renu use the word of the day. So kudos to both of you. And the good usages of the grammar used by gifting speakers are as follows. Toastmaster Arjun, the words used by him were colonial, hang on, appealing, heroic, and accused. Toastmaster Rajendra used the word fearful, authoritative, and chaos. Toastmaster Deepti used the word daunting, beaking around, social butterflies, break the ice, let the flowers bloom. Toastmaster Renu used the words the show must go on, crave, name and fame, karma, saga, and some of the recommendations where you can work upon the grammar includes that one of the speakers used the word used the sentence year before. That could be we can use it in the sentence years before. And one of the speaker again used the word like it doesn't matter for me, it doesn't matter to me because it's mattering to you as in the sense. And so I think this was my grammarian's report. Otherwise I would request any one of you to use the word of the day because we have less people who have used the word of the day. So if you want to use it in a sentence or so, you can go ahead. The word of the day was stubborn. Yes, Toastmaster Deepti.
Direct communicators are definitely not stubborn. They just want to be clear in communication.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti. So this was the grammarians report. Now I would like to invite Toastmaster Mayur for a fun session, and that's my favorite session too, for the active listener session.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I hope everyone has listened carefully to all the speaker, and now it's time to check your listening skills. So here is your first question. In TM Arjun's speech, which Indian politician he mentioned?
May I?
Sorry, I just mentioned, forget to mention. If you answer the question, please raise your hands. Yes, TM Renu.
Shashi Tharoor, politician Shashi Tharoor.
Yes, exactly. It's absolutely right. Now here is the second question. In the year of 2015, son of TM RK Arora studied in which standard? Please raise your hands. Yes, Divyansh.
9th.
Yes, it's absolutely right. Now the third question. Which movie TM RK Arora wives want to show him?
May I?
Yes, TM Dipti.
Kora Kagas. I'm also
Yeah.
going to watch it now.
Yeah, it's beautiful
Yes.
movie. It's very beautiful.
Yes, it's right. And now the last question is, in TM Dipti's speech, according to her, what is meaning of diyas? Like what stand for D, I, A, and S? Yes, TM Rajender.
Direct, initiator,
Hmm?
and analytical and supportive.
Yes, sir. It's absolutely right. That's all from my side. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayur, for such a beautiful session, and it was fun and interactive as well. Now, to conclude with, I will just say that the meeting, I will provide my report as well. First of all, the meeting started on time. So kudos to Toastmaster Deepti for starting the meeting on time. The role players attendance were taken beforehand, and I'm really glad that we will end the meeting in time too. Going further, Toastmaster Deepti, the sergeant at arms, very smoothly started over the meeting, reciting the mission statement as well as and the club rules. Further going ahead, the guests were welcomed firmly, and they have provided their introductions. Coming to the teamwork, she started with a beautiful poem, and that's definitely a good approach to gather the attention of the members and the guests. And the story shared by Toastmaster of the day was definitely fabulous. But I would request the Toastmaster of the day to take at least 30 seconds or a minute break after each speech to reserve that for the feedbacks by the members for the speech. And the other thing is that while calling the speaker to give the speech, the approach used should be the name, title, and then the name, so that it is being formulated. It gives the other people the way that the title is being applied to the speech. Otherwise, the Toastmaster of the day was on fire, and he shared great insights about the man's determination and how he should go ahead. And the theme selection of the theme was really great. Now coming to the table topic session, the topics were really great. They were analytic and they were easy. One person could easily interpret them, and they were composed and conducted in a beautiful manner. So kudos to Toastmaster Manav for that. I would request Toastmaster Manav to initially start with a experienced Toastmaster to start about the table topics, and then to all the guests should be included as well. So maybe that could be taken care of from the next time. Further, the speech evaluations, I think the evaluation of the speeches were done very great by Toastmaster Uma Shankar, Toastmaster Shalmili and Toastmaster Manav. All of you have covered all the points about the speakers and have given the feedbacks too. So kudos to all of you. And my CAC team players, I think you all have done a fabulous job. And I would like to thank you, all the CAC team players as well as the active listener, because they are someone, the CAC team players and the active listener, because they have to be present in the meeting from the starting. Otherwise, we all could maybe switch off our cameras and sit back, but they have to be present. They have to listen to the meeting. They have to time the role players, and they have to give the feedback according to that. So kudos to all of you. So thank you so much. This was my report. I think the meeting was great, and I could see there were a number of guests today as well. So it's a good thing too. Thank you so much. Now I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Renu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak, the general evaluator of the day, for such a wonderful session. Everything is absolutely explained very well. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Deepti whether we are ready for the ballots for best table topic speaker we have done, best evaluator.
Yes.
And best auxiliary role player.
Yes. So best evaluator, launching the polls now. Okay, ending the poll in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Now I'm going to launch the poll for the auxiliary role players. Okay. So launching 3, 2, 1. Okay. Co-hosts, please send me your direct vote. Okay, ending the poll. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Back to you, Renu ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. So, today what I'm doing today, I'm playing the role of a teacher only, imparting knowledge always. So the next lesson which we learn from Dashrath Manji story is never shy away from trying. The journalist who was interviewing Dashrath, he was complaining about his job of journalism, how it requires too much time and sweat, how he was totally disappointed, he was not happy with the job. Manji suggests him, why don't you quit your job and start something of your own if you're not satisfied? The journalist says, Manji sir, you won't understand how it is not an easy feat to start something at your own. Manji simply laughs and asks, and do you think it is easy to break a mountain? How can you know if it is going to be easy or difficult if you don't even try? Isn't it true, friends? At least we can try. Then only we'll be able to say whether it was easy or difficult. The last but not the least, and all-time favorite mine is never ever give up. One day, while hammering, Manji is bitten by a snake. After he has cut through half of the mountain, he cries aloud in pain, but avail no help. You know why? Because there was nobody in the village, because due to the famine in the village, they all had vacated the place. And Manji was living all alone to continue his work. he was just feeding himself on the dry leaves and drinking dirty water. What did he do then? He cut the thumb that was bitten by the snake and continued his work. This was the determination undeterred by all ordeals. In a bird's eye view, what I want to tell you through this tale of Manchi, though it took 22 years, still, despite all upheavals, he kept working stubbornly, single-handedly on the mountain and brought it down. Shouldn't we also have such determination if we wish to achieve something stupendous? I'm sure I have been of some help at least to decide our future prospects. With this, I hand over the stage to the presiding officer, Mehak, to continue the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehak, the presiding officer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renu, for such a wonderful session. And I would really say that the takeaway from your session was that determination is the key for success. Now, we can first, I think we will announce the winners. Before that, we will have the voting for the best role player.
I'm so sorry, Mehak, to interrupt in between. Can you please check if Nana is there, and if she is there, so let's invite her also to speak something. If she is there.
No, she is not there.
Okay. Please continue.
So first we will have the voting for the best role player.
Sure. So I'll launch the poll, but and after the polls, let's also have a cameras on happy faces pic. Let's take a picture. So launching poll for the best role player, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm sure they're visible. Please go ahead and vote. Okay, thank you. I'm closing the polls now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's urge everybody to please turn on their videos. We want to see all your happy faces. Arjun, Uma Shankar, Shaurya. Thank you. The host is just another machine. It's a for gadget. Okay, so at the count of 3, do you want to use emoticons or do you want to do hand gestures with thumbs up? What do you want to do?
Whatever ma'am says.
Okay, then let's make a V for victory sign. Okay, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepthi. Now, first we will have First we'll have the feedback from the guests. So first, I would like to invite Toastmaster Manav to say something about how was the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The meeting was impeccable. Every single part of the meeting, I thoroughly enjoyed. The speakers, amazing. Table Topics Master was superb. The evaluators were amazing. So all in all, I really enjoyed the meeting today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manav, and I really wish that you will come back soon in the club for the meeting next time. Now, Toastmaster Rajendra.
First of all, I would like to thank you only because of you I'm here, because you have sent the invitation and then I taken up that role and then you have given me that slot. So first of all, I thank you especially Toastmaster Mehak Kapoor. And then overall the meeting basically is the same, with the other Toastmaster club like TTMC. So it is always, attending any Toastmaster meeting is giving us, something new and something to be learned and something to be changed. And the topic of Toastmaster Manav were totally engaging and pushing up us to work out on self and do something on change. So that was really good, and all parts were good, especially Toastmaster Deepti's speech was really I will never forget this dais, right? And it was really good. It was, I would love to keep on coming in your Toastmasters meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajendra. And we're really glad that you enjoyed the meeting. Please do keep coming on in the meeting soon. Now, I would request Toastmaster Mayur.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. All the meetings, all the sessions are run very smoothly. I hope everyone has got learned a lot of new things. I also get and I also learn a new things in TM Deepti Sahani ma'am, like Dias. It's a very awesome world, and I learned something new today. So all the sessions are running very smoothly, and I really enjoy this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayur, and we're really glad that you are here. So we'll keep coming to the meeting. Now we have Toastmaster Divyansh. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me this chance of expressing myself and thoughts. I really do appreciate all of you and all of the people who give chance to people like me or other people to come up to a stage, provide them the stage to express their thoughts and opinions. This was a really nice experience. I experienced a lot, and I learned a lot. Thank you for the pointers you gave me about the hand expressions, gestures, and everything while I give my presentation. Unfortunately, I do have some like the camera and all the setup. I don't have perfect ones yet, so I will work on that. And thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Divyansh, and we hope that you will too come back to the meeting soon. And Toastmaster Shaurya.
Thank you for having me firstly, and it was the first time when I visited one of these meetings, and I loved it. I love the energy, I love the quality of the speeches and the evaluations and the table topics which I participated. I was really surprised by the simplicity of it, so much so that I was dumbfounded for 2 seconds before I could actually catch a grasp of my thoughts and start speaking. So I loved the entire energy, and I would definitely look forward to coming back. And I'm a banker, so some days I have my Saturdays as work days, but rest assured, the future Saturdays, future holidays, I would definitely look forward to come back. Thank you, and thanks again for having me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaurya, and we really hope that you will join us soon. So now, without wasting any time, let's first announce the winners of the meeting. So first of all, starting with the best speaker. Whom do you think was the best speaker? Any guesses?
Deepti.
Yes, it was Toastmaster Deepti. So please put a applause for her. Now next for the best table topic speaker. Whom do you think was the best table topic speaker? Any guesses? Okay, so there were quite a few speakers. So it's Toastmaster Rajendra. Please put on your hands together for Toastmaster Rajendra. And by the way, the guest Toastmaster Divyansh was also very close to winning. He just lost by 1 vote. So kudos to you too. And now coming to the best auxiliary. Next, coming to the best auxiliary role player. Any guesses? So, okay, it's Toastmaster Mayur for active listener, and it was a tie between Toastmaster Mayur and Toastmaster Mehak. And so now next coming to the role player. Whom do you think was the winner? There were 3 role players, Toastmaster Renu, Toastmaster Manav, and Toastmaster Mehak. So any guesses for the best role player?
Toastmaster Mehak.
Well, you're partially correct. It's again a tie between Toastmaster Renu and me. So thank you so much, everyone. The meeting was really great, and I would now like to adjourn the meeting. Thank you for joining in today, and really glad the meeting was really good. Any closing thoughts? Anyone would like to say something? Otherwise, we're just closing down the meeting.
Keep coming to the meetings.
So Divyansh, where are you based?
That is
sir?
more important.
Currently, I'm living with my parents in Delhi.
In Delhi. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah.